I first got interested in the idea of going to Mars when I was 3 years old.
And liftoff. Liftoff.
She wants to be the first or one of the first to go to Mars.
She's a regular kid with a dream that she's willing to pursue.
Spaceflight is very risky business. You have to take it serious, or you will die.
If the option was to go to Mars and never come back, I would still want to go and be a part of the mission.
When Alyssa was younger, I remember Alyssa coming to me and asking me, had human beings ever been to Mars? And I explained to her that, we'd been to the moon, but not Mars, but it would be her generation to become the Mars generation and go to Mars.
Hey, this would be something really cool. I mean, go into space and then land on other planets.
Little did I know that I would be raising a child that I'm supporting to leave this planet.
I do everything that every other normal kid does, except on the side, I'm training to become an astronaut and go to Mars.
Kids are always told, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. Alyssa has heard that, but she has accepted that I'm going to have to work really, really hard to get to where I want to be.
She's the youngest to ever graduate from Advanced Space Academy, was the first person to complete all NASA space camps in the world. Got her rocket license before getting her driver's permit.
Currently, I have my basic scuba diver certification, and I'm working on my advanced.
She's doing the International Baccalaureate, so she's doing college-level classes in 10th grade.
Multilingual education, so she's taking her classes in 4 languages, English, French, Spanish, Chinese.
She's got the right mental attitude. She's doing everything that she can physically here on Earth to prepare herself for that journey to Mars.
I don't think there's anything specifically that kind of makes it easier for me or makes it something that others can't do. It's just something that I've kind of really focused myself on what I want to accomplish.
By the mid-2030s, I believe we can send humans to orbit Mars and return them safely to Earth.
Going to Mars is absolutely essential for continuing of the human species as a whole.
It is very important that we keep exploring because it has already been said that a single planet species will become extinct. Just going to Mars is that first baby step in showing people that we can move on from planet Earth, which is kind of like our little cradle now.
We're destroying our own planet. If we don't continue to explore, we could end up not having a planet to live on.
So even though there are a lot of risk in going to Mars, I believe that the rewards are so much greater. Yeah, space is a dangerous place, and yeah, there's so much that I'm giving up for it, but at the end of the day, there's so much good that can come from this mission. The big plans for Mars is eventually terraforming it, change Mars to kind of become like another Earth, to have a second home for humans to live on.
That's checkmate. Booyah! There are companies that want to send one way and colonize Mars, and then there are people like NASA and ESA that are working together that want to have a return trip. So I still have to look at it as a father that I'll have my child for 20 more years, and then I may not ever see her again. And that's hard. But for what she's wanting to do, I have to support her. I have to let her go. It's bigger than the two of us.
We know that the next 20 years together is going to be important because we know for sure that those are 20 years that we can spend together. Obviously, it's not the best thing to be telling your daughter to go on a mission to Mars and leave the planet, but I still know that he supports me anyway.
Every time Alyssa talks about having to go to space and how she can't get married and how she can't have kids, it makes me sad because I'm saying, oh, she's gonna leave me one day. But then I remember, we might as well live now, and when the future comes, we'll be able to accept it because we didn't waste time.
It's cool.
There are a multitude of challenges to become an astronaut. You have to have the right mental attitude, you have the right health, you have to have the right skills. Last year we put out a call for the next cadre of astronauts. We had thousands apply and we're accepting less than 10.
The biggest challenge for Alyssa is just trying to get everything done that she wants to have for her unique resume.
Specifically for the Mars mission, I would say that they're even more precise about who they want for that mission. So thinking about all that motivates me to put in the hard work now that I know to build up kind of a good resume that helps me stand out from others when I do apply.
The opportunity to be one of the youngest people that's ever ventured into space, to be a trailblazer, a pioneer, I think this is everything she's always wanted to do.
Just recently was accepted to Possum Academy. She's the youngest person ever to be accepted to that program.
Basically everyone who's ever gone to this program either has a college degree, either has a master's, either has a PhD, or is working on any of those. So they're all a lot older than I am. What Possum Academy is, they are preparing people for spaceflight. I will actually be certified to go to space.
I think it's really significant that Alyssa is a girl who has this huge dream to make it to Mars. She is someone that girls can look up to and say, hey, look at what she did. Look at what this girl did who was the same as me once.
So it is important to inspire kids and also adults. You can't let anyone take your dreams away from you. No matter how crazy it might sound, follow that through and never give up on your dream.
The 2033 mission that they always talk to us about, that's when the sun is going to have the least amount of radiation going. That's when Mars is going to be the closest that it's been in thousands of years. That's when they'll have the technology perfected. Yes, if she was a few years older, a few years younger, it may not be working out, but the way doors have opened for her, it is definitely destiny working its hand that this kid is meant to go to Mars.
And liftoff.
There is a cryo tank with a backup CW.
Looking for the Freon pump loop switch. Flip that switch to the Bravo position.
The odds are pretty narrow, but the bottom line is, how can you set yourself apart from everybody else? I'm gonna tell you, everything she's done will set her apart.
I'm Alyssa Carson, I'm 15, and I'm going to Mars. Going to Mars and kind of pushing that future for space exploration is critical to the survival of humans because it's already been said that a single planet species will become extinct, and eventually, as the solar system dies out, then we would go with it.
Alyssa, you about ready?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
bringing an extra shirt
Okay.
in case they don't have a wetsuit.
Okay, you got a towel. Are you gonna bring 2 towels or one? Just one? It's amazing how much stuff you have to have. We're very close because I'm a single dad and she's my only child, and so we've become this great team to get all this stuff accomplished.
I first got interested in wanting to go to space around when I was 3 years old.
She attended space camp at 8, and it was her first time, and she won the Right Stuff Award. And I thought to myself, if all of these experts are looking at this child and the very first time she wins the Right Stuff Award, then they see something in her. And I just thought to myself, my kid's going to Mars. I'm continually impressed with her dedication and passion that has not faded at all. And she just goes at everything 110% when it comes to this mission. And I just don't see how she does it, but she does. And it's amazing to watch her work.
People look out that way and take a big giant step. Big giant step.
I have gone to all the official NASA space camps in the world. Also, I have gotten my advanced scuba certification. Currently working on my pilot's license, and I was the youngest to be accepted and graduate from Advanced Possum Academy in Daytona Beach, Florida. I would like to go to Cambridge in the UK for my undergrad, and then for my master's, I would like to go to International Space University in Strasbourg, France, and then I'd finish off at MIT majoring in astrobiology.
Please help me welcome Miss Alyssa Carson.
This is kind of the generation that's going to be working towards that mission to Mars. It's all about finding things like Starbase, like this, to see kind of push your interest and seeing what else you can do. So really just follow your dreams. Any questions over here? Yeah.
Can you say, hi, my name is Alyssa Carson, and the languages?
And all 4 languages. Okay, so English, hi, my name is Alyssa Carson. French, bonjour, je m'appelle Alyssa Carson. Spanish, hola, me llamo Alyssa Carson. And Chinese, ni hao, wo de ming zi shi Alyssa. Yeah.
Why do you want to go to Mars?
I think it would widen people's minds and show them there's so much more out there than our little area that we have here on Earth.
Yeah, I'm good.
When I land on Mars, it will be the beginning of humankind as a multi-planetary species. That's why I've always wanted to focus on astrobiology, geology, biology, so kind of those aspects of the planet, and just learning more about the soil, the water. We can basically create another Earth from Mars.
Most astronauts that are selected have gone and gotten their PhD already, and they've usually got 2 or 3 years of experience. So they're anywhere from 28 to 30 years old when they get selected. Even after they're selected, it's 5, 6, 7 years worth of training. So most of the astronauts are in their late 30s to early 40s before they ever fly for the first time. It appears to me that Alyssa is right on that path.
And did you notice the color of iron sulfate?
It's reddish.
Yeah, what does it make you think of?
Looks like iron. Mars. Like
To be able to go to Mars, you're going to have to be able, not only, you're going to have to be resourceful, you're going to have the ability to live alone and by yourself for long periods of time. There's those intangibles that just come from being on a 2-year journey going to another planet. It's hard for me to even imagine.
As this thing gets further, Alyssa realizes that she will have to make the sacrifice of not having a family, because when you're that far away, you don't want to worry about what's going on with your husband or your children, because those kind of things will play mind tricks on you.
Right now, there are different plans for going to Mars. One idea is based off of Mars 1 in the Netherlands, and that would be you would go to Mars and you would start colonizing and you would live there. So it would be a one-way trip. And then there's another mission, and it's working with NASA and then also other space organizations where they would want to go to Mars, spend time on Mars, doing experiments, and then coming back. Honestly, for me, I would prefer to come back, but if the only option was to go to Mars and not come back, then I would still want to go to push that further space exploration.
On the day that Alyssa would take off for Mars, it's going to be a bittersweet day. It's going to be a proud day for me as a father that she has accomplished her dreams, and it's going to be a sad day because I know how dangerous it's going to be for her. Can't talk about that.
I want to go to Mars because it's a place no one has been. It's completely deserted right now. At the NASA Visitor Center, I get the chance to deploy a parachute and land Curiosity in the proper landing site on Mars.
Curiosity has landed.
I think that I have a high chance of going to Mars basically because I've been training for 9 years so far. As I get older and I continue to do more things, the resume will just eventually get longer. It will help me stand out, and it will help me look unique compared to other people.
Smoothie a la Carson. I absolutely think Alyssa will be on Mars. There's not a doubt in my mind because of how hard she works at trying to get there. There's just not a doubt in my mind that her dream and her passion will drive her to that planet.
NASA takes people like Alyssa very seriously She is of the perfect age to one day become an astronaut to eventually travel to Mars. She is doing the right things, taking the right training, taking all the right steps to actually become an astronaut.
Le quoi au salut des arts?
Okay.
We have French, Spanish, Chinese, English, language arts, social studies, math, science. I have a pretty balanced life. My Saturdays, they're usually packed, but not always by NASA stuff. Sometimes it could be due to soccer games or a piano recital. These things help me just be a kid sometimes.
We have the next 20 years planned out. We know what she's doing. She's looking at going on a mission to Mars in 2033. In 20 years, I may not ever see her again. There are options out there where they go to Mars and not come back. And we've had those discussions, and if that's the only option she has, she still wants to go.
I have thought about possibly being other things, but being an astronaut was always first on my list. Failure, it's not an option. I don't want one obstacle in the way to stop me from going to Mars. Basically live the same life as a 15-year-old girl, just on the side training to become an astronaut and go to Mars. I think that space travel and STEM and everything about science and technology is all very important for the next generation because that's where we're going, that's the future, that's what we're looking at going to. We've kind of spent the last 50 years focusing on kind of staying around Earth and focusing our space travel in low Earth orbit. But I feel like now it's really time to boost and explore new things. And that's really what it's all about now, being that Mars generation, the generation that's going to go out further in space and eventually start that next step of doing deep space exploration. So starting with Mars as a baby step and then eventually going on and exploring the rest of space. Hello, hola, bonjour, ni hao. Hello, my name is Alyssa Carson, call sign Blueberry, and at the age of 3 years old, I decided to become an astronaut and go to Mars. My journey began while watching a children's show, and the characters were acting out a mission to Mars. I then went and asked my dad if anyone had been to Mars. He explained to me that man had been to the moon, but not Mars. And it would be my generation that will eventually be making the trip to Mars. I started by studying everything I could find on Mars. And I decided at that moment that there would be nothing limiting me in my ability to get to Mars. So I started by studying everything I could find on Mars, and as I got older, my dad took me to space camp in Huntsville, Alabama, which is where, at the age of 8 years old, I won my first award, which was the Right Stuff Award, which is the highest award you can receive at space camp. They give this award to the person who they think has all the specialties to win this award. It was when I won this award, my dad shed tears because he knew nothing would limit me in my progress to get to Mars. Since then, I have done everything I could to continue my pursuit of Mars. I have been to Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama in the United States 12 times, Space Camp Turkey in Izmir, Turkey, and Space Camp Canada in Laval, Canada, becoming the first person to complete all the NASA space camps in the world. I am also the first person to complete the NASA Passport program, visiting all 14 NASA visitor centers in the United States. And these are the different 14 NASA visitor centers. Completing this task only 4 months after it started. I am also an ambassador for a group called Mars One, and they are a group sending people to Mars to colonize Mars. I have also attended Euro Space Camp in Belgium, and also graduated from National Flight Academy in Pensacola, Florida, and Virginia Space Flight Academy in Wallops Island, Virginia, and they are both in the U.S. Now at 14, I will continue with my training, including a week of advanced Space Academy in Huntsville, Alabama, as well as advanced rocket training at the NASA Wallops Island facility this summer. In addition to studying and the camps, I will also obtain my scuba and skydiving certifications as well as my pilot's license before I'm 18. I plan to attend Cambridge in the United Kingdom, International Space University in Strasbourg, France, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston, Massachusetts. Now, the reason I do these things is to ensure that I continue to have unique things on my resume so that I am one of the people picked to eventually make the trip to Mars. Now, I currently attend the Baton Rouge International School, and today some of my classmates are here supporting me, and I would like to thank them for that. At our school, we learn all of our subjects in English, French, Spanish, and Chinese by teachers that are from all over the world. So not only are they native speakers of the language, but they also share their culture as well. I feel as though my teachers bringing in their worldly experiences keeps me from feeling limited to being in Baton Rouge all day. And I know this is yet another reason why I will not allow anything to limit me in my quest for Mars. This will also give me the ability to be able to interact and converse with people from all over the world, as it will take the world to send people to Mars. Hearing all of these things I've done, you might think that space is my entire life. But I do keep a balanced life. I play the piano, I dance ballet, I play competitive soccer. I'm also involved with Girl Scouts, Junior Beta Club, Drama Club, Robotics Team, and Book Club. So you could say I have not let my dreams stop me from living my childhood. I still do have fun with my friends. My friends sometimes think I'm crazy with my dream, but they are very supportive. But my favorite thing will always be my dream, and the training involved with getting to Mars. I love completing missions at Space Camp and feeling like I'm finally taking my trip to the Red Planet. So how or why do we need to get to Mars? How will this help change our world? I'm reminded of an old Greek proverb. A society grows great when old men plant trees, whose shade they know they shall never sit in. How does this quote reflect our desire to go to Mars and change our future generations? This proverb tells us we must plan ahead for future generations. We must continue to pursue to be inquisitive and exploratory, encouraging people of all ages. Our schools are teaching kids today for jobs that not only do not yet exist, may even eventually exist on Mars. We must continue our human nature to explore. As our technology is increasing more and more every day, it is now time for us to explore beyond this planet. Remember, a single planet species will become extinct. Do you want to follow the path of the dinosaurs? The dinosaurs could only explore this planet, and so became extinct. Now, I don't want to see that happen with the human species, who do have the ability to leave this planet. Our planet is bombarded by objects every day. It is only a matter of time before another big one changes everything we have here on Earth. I want to plant the tree. Sure, there are lots of risks in going to Mars, but I believe that the rewards outweigh the risk. If we stay here, then we know for sure one day we will follow the path of the dinosaurs. But if we explore, we can find the rewards that are waiting for us out in the universe. So I'm the old man that is planting the tree, dedicating my life to training, learning, and teaching, so that we'll take that next step to get us to Mars, our second Earth, so that future generations can live on Mars and continue the exploration of space. And the human race can survive and go on for thousands of more years. You are some of the people sitting in this room right now that can help plant the tree and change the world. It is our generation that must rise up and make the difference, make the change. We must bring the world together as one. We must all be a part of the human race. We are all the same. It is time to gather that next level or step of knowledge that will bring the evolution of the human race. Some have said that finding out new knowledge and truth that is out there will bring chaos and instability. But ignorance brings chaos, not knowledge. So I say to you, do everything you can to plant the tree. But you might ask, what can I do as one person? While trying to find the age of the Earth, Claire Patterson, a geochemist, discovered the amount of lead poisoning being put out in the atmosphere through lead in fuels and in containers with food, toys, etc. He knew he had to do something before people started dying all over the world. In his 20-year journey, he got lead removed from fuels, paints, and other items. Lead levels in people's blood were lowered 80% in a very short amount of time. It took him 20 years, but he did not quit. He knew he had to plant the tree. He was successful at his task. One person can make a huge difference. Remember, there are young people, just like us, that help change the world. Joan of Arc, age 16, inspiring the Dauphin de France to renew the fight with the English, defeating them at Orléans, as Joan had predicted. Sainte Thérèse de Lisieux, age 15, entering the convent early with the Pope's special permission. Her writings of her spiritual journey inspired many with her simple but meaningful philosophy. Young people can make a difference, and young people can change the world. We, as our generation, can make a huge difference by doing it together. We can plant the tree. So how do we get to the point where we're sending humans to Mars and eventually changing the world? We must bring the brightest minds, scientists, engineers, and world leaders to come together in friendship and mutual respect and solve how we get to Mars and further space exploration. We must, as our generation, grow up and continue to make sure these changes are happening. It is vital for all of us as the human race. We cannot limit ourselves. These people in our generation must plant the tree. So what does going to Mars help in changing our world? The current plans have people heading to Mars in about 20 years. Some plans are one way, like Mars One in the Netherlands, and some do include a return trip. NASA is working on SLS, Space Launch System, the most powerful rocket ever built that will leave this planet to go to deep space. On top of the SLS rocket, there will be the Orion capsule. On December 5th, 2014, Orion launched atop the Delta IV Heavy rocket from Cape Canaveral. This first test of the Orion orbit lasted 4 hours of test and re-entry, and they were all practically flawless. This is the start of U.S. and NASA heading back to deep space, and to Mars. And we know with the technology we have now, we could terraform Mars in about 300 years to become another Earth, for us to have a place to live and another point to leave from to explore further into space. It may sound like a lot of time to terraform Mars, but remember how many centuries we have been here on Earth. In only 53 years, we went from sending the first man into orbit, Yuri Gagarin, to where we are today. We have sent satellites out of our solar system, as well as probes and rovers all over our solar system, and landing on other planets, including Mars. Think about how our technology is increasing, and what technology we might have in 20 years. We now need to get people on Mars to speed up the process of understanding Mars. It has been said by the Curiosity team that they could complete a year's work by the Curiosity rover in an hour with people on Mars. The benefits and rewards that we learn in space and on Mars help us here on Earth. We have so many things that we use every day that help us in our day-to-day life that have come about because of space exploration. It is time to plant the tree. You are the future leaders of our world in our generation. Can I please ask everyone to raise their hand as high as they can? So raise it up. Now raise your hand even higher. Okay, now you can put your hands down. So even though I said to raise your hand as high as you can the first time, people still raised it even higher the second time. Now this can be seen as trying your hardest in things, whether you're going after a goal, a dream, a vision, or whatever you want to do in life. Or maybe it's just playing a sport that you love or doing schoolwork, but whatever it is, trying your hardest at it and giving it your all and giving it your best. Now, back in 2012, when everyone thought the world was ending, because the Mayan calendar was ending. What they didn't realize was that the Mayan calendar is based on cycles. And on December 21st, 2012, the calendar started over with another long count. What we have also seen is that the ending of these cycles, we have seen great changes in our past. I believe that the ending of the Mayan calendar is our new beginning and change in our world. Just think about the changes we have seen since 2012, including the progress of 3D printing and solutions we and solutions we have found for problems we had to get to Mars. We are here at XSTEM. As this conference ends, this is our new beginning. We can either do nothing and let our world continue on the path it's on now, or we can take control and make the changes for a better world. Now, this is truly a time of change, a time to explore, a time to evolve, and a time to plant the tree. We cannot have any limits in furthering our exploration of space. In 20 years, I'll be on Mars. Where will you be? Will you help plant the tree? We are the Mars Generations. You can also keep up with my adventures at nasablueberry.com. Thank you. On a clear night, I love to look up at the sky and search for one specific planet. It looks as small as a dot. Some of you may call it the red planet or Mars. I call it home. My earliest memory was at 3 years old. I was watching a cartoon where these creature friends would go on imaginary adventures in their backyard. One of the episodes was a mission to Mars. It looked so exciting, I went running to my dad to find out if humans had really gone to Mars. He told me that man had gone to the moon, but not Mars. But it would be my generation who would go to Mars and become the Mars generation. At that moment, something in my heart got awakened. Even at 3 years old, I realized I was born on planet Earth with a mission to be one of the first to land on the red planet, my home. Since then, I have dedicated my life to training, learning, and teaching, and I'm taking all of the necessary steps required and work hard every day in order to make this dream a reality. Now, every time I talk about this mission, I'm always asked, why should humans go to Mars? And how will this help change the world? Now, the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear these questions is actually an ancient Greek proverb. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. This proverb teaches us the importance of planning ahead for future generations. Our ancestors have explored and made our world a better place to live in, and the mission to Mars will do the same. Now, in my journey, I have been blessed with many experiences. One of my proudest moments was actually at age 12, being selected to the NASA MER-10 panel to discuss future missions to Mars in the 2030s. The other panelists were PhDs and an astronaut. And it was so great of them to want to hear from me, the journey I had been on, my dream to go to Mars, and how I was planning on doing that. This experience helped launch my dream even higher. Since then, I have learned many lessons, and would like to share 3 of them with you guys today. So 1, what is your out of this world dream? Each one of us is born with a special talent, a unique dream or aspiration. Now, I'm always surprised to hear that people block these seeds of dreams and give up on their dreams due to fear and worry. Also, to my surprise, is the number of adults that look back at their lives, only to wish they had worked to follow their dream from an early age. My story, my dream, that in 2033 I hope to achieve is the mission to Mars. My dream is out of this world, literally. What about you? What is your dream that is out of this world? And what are you doing to launch your mission? 2, we are all one. As part of my training, I've had the opportunity to travel to 16 countries. I also attend the Baton Rouge International School, where I learn all my subjects in 4 languages. I am taught by teachers who are from all over the world and native to the language they are teaching the subjects in. I've learned that we all have the same dreams, hopes, aspirations, challenges, regardless of what country we come from, backgrounds, or even the language we speak. We all want to live in peace. We all want to have our needs met. We all want our families to be healthy and happy. My training taught me that we are all global citizens. We are all humans, and we are all one. 3, the importance of believing in and helping others. Now, I wonder sometimes what my dad initially thought about my mission. Did he think of me as another child who dreams to put on the little astronaut suit and go out and play the backyard adventure I had seen on TV? One day, I saw him shed tears when he saw that I was recognized with the highest Space Camp award, the Right Stuff Award. He told me that he realized at that moment that nothing would stop me in my quest to go to Mars. He has been supporting me ever since my earliest memories. He has been my biggest supporter. And because of his belief in me, I'm here in front of you today. And I'm thankful for that. Yes, thank you. All I needed was one person to believe in me completely, which led to all of the incredible people in my life that are part of this giant step for humankind. Who has been supporting you with your path? And what are you doing to support others? We need someone to help support us in our quest for our dreams, and in return, support someone with theirs. In conclusion, 15 years from today, I will be home, standing on red sand, looking up at the clear sky, looking for a little pale blue dot, looking for our planet Earth. I will be wondering about all of you, hoping you have continued to plant trees by believing in your dreams, by appreciating our human oneness, and by helping others. Never stop dreaming, never give up, and never let anyone take your dreams away from you. This is a time of change, a time to take back home what you've learned here at the BBYO International Convention, and a time to plant the tree. I am Alyssa Carson, call sign Blueberry. We are the Mars generation, and together we will. Thank you.
তাহলে চলুন তার একটি ইন্টারভিউ দিয়ে শেষ করা যাক।
Imagine getting your rocket license before getting your driver's license. Imagine you had geology training in Iceland where the moonwalkers trained. Imagine completing all 14 NASA space camps and getting the NASA passport. Imagine you were officially certified to go to space. Imagine you were able to apply to be part of the 2033 NASA mission to Mars. And imagine you did all of this by the time you were 17 years old. Now it is my pleasure to introduce someone who did just that. Please welcome on stage youngest astronaut in training, Alyssa Carson. Alyssa. Hey, great to have you here. Come over. Alyssa, I'm in awe. You have my dream resume. This is such a cool job. Take a seat.
Thank you.
Alyssa, you are planning to apply for the 2033 NASA mission. I can tell you this is as close as I will ever get to Mars. Let's make it a little bit convenient here. When I was a boy, I was just telling everybody when we introduced it, I was looking at those stars and I was kind of dreaming to become an astronaut, but I never really made it happen. How did you come up with that idea to become an astronaut, and how did you get it started? Did you call NASA?
Well, you know, similar to you, I was super young when I got this interest for space and astronomy. I was around 3 years old, and I was basically just watching some cartoons on the television like, you know, a little 3-year-old girl would do, and these characters went on this imaginary adventure to Mars, and, you know, I wanted to be like friends with them and go on the mission with them. So I started asking my dad and all these questions about space, you know, can people go to Mars? Are people on Mars? Is space real? Like all these curious questions I had, and no one in my family had a space or science background, so from then on I was like, well, I'm gonna find out about it. So I started, you know, studying space.
Okay, that's sometimes I mean, I dream of this all being kind of very easy and having fun and doing parabolic flights and being kind of in mid-air, you're kind of getting weightless and you can float around. But I think it's actually very hard work. You need to spend a lot of time learning, going into physics and math and things. How do you keep yourself motivated?
I mean, initially when I was a little girl, you know, getting this first interest about space, I really wanted to go to Mars just because, you know, no one had been there before. You know, it's like, sure, that could be a cool place to go, and I had this curiosity of going. But I think as I've gotten older, I've gone through those studies and started going through those educations. I've learned more about the importance of going to Mars and the technologies and the mindset and all the benefits that we can get actually from going on this mission.
So you're now learning Russian. I think it's one of the official languages of space travel that you have to learn. And do you speak other languages as well?
Yeah, so I currently speak English, French, Chinese, and Spanish. Pues yo comencé a hablar español cuando yo tenía solo 6 años. And I am also trying to learn Russian, but it's a pretty difficult language to tackle, so I'll get there one day.
Okay, what other classes do you have to take? It's probably physics, it's chemistry, geology, and other things. I think you're 17 years old, right? Most other students in those classes are probably 10, 15 years, 20 years older maybe than you are. Isn't that kind of sometimes that they look at, oh, this young girl, kind of, what does she have to say? Kind of, is it kind of a difficult work environment?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the trainings that I'm doing now, in the citizen science program where I'm doing most of my trainings, everyone there is, post-college in their 30s, 40s, and so on. And so, when I first started this program at 15, I was the only 15-year-old, and at first it was pretty intimidating, just because I was like, yikes, like these are all these smart older people who know what they're talking about. But I definitely think that they've kind of, taken me in, and we both have our talents, and we kind of work together as a team. They could be better at more of the studies and classwork because they have that knowledge, and they can help me build on that. But then some of the physical things, I may be able to climb through a capsule more easier than they can. So, we all help each other.
All right. Now, going to Mars, and you are going to apply to NASA for the 2033 mission because you will be right at the right age probably to be one of the crew members there. This sounds super exciting to me. I've been dreaming of that. But frankly, there's also a lot of risk involved, right? There's even missions which plan not to come back from Mars in the first journeys there. How do you think about it? How do you think about maybe taking all that risk and not coming back? What's your thought?
Yeah, definitely. There's different companies that want to do different things in terms of space. Some people want to go to Mars and colonize it and have the first set of astronauts go there. Others want to go and have a return mission and bring, rocks and samples and stuff back to Earth. Obviously I would prefer to come back and share the message about space and bring back some of the rocks and samples to kind of do further research. But I definitely think that if the only option was to go to Mars and live there, I'd still want to go just because the benefits and rewards that we're going to get almost outweighs the risk. There are, things that we still have to figure out, but at the same time, we're basically changing the whole world and uniting to actually achieve such a, amazing achievement.
What advice would you give to any kids watching this keynote today who are thinking about a career in computer science or in any of the sciences? What would you recommend to them?
Yeah, definitely. Starting off, in your day-to-day, like school life and seeing what's available to you is an awesome way to start. And then, seeing which careers kind of match up with what you're interested in, because there's so many possibilities out there, especially for, the upcoming generation. There's going to be jobs that we don't even know of yet. And as they're evolving and developing, we can find out these things. So basically, it's, finding a dream, finding that passion, and working towards that and never letting someone take it away from you. And also just really talking about your dream, talking about your goals, because you really never know when opportunity is going to strike, because you may just be out in the street talking about it and some random person is there to be helpful. Because I know when I was 3 saying, being a little girl saying I wanted to go to Mars, that was about the craziest thing I could have picked to choose for a career. And now it's becoming more and more of a reality. So definitely just always following that dream.
So kids, I hope you haven't listened carefully. One final question, Blueberry. Why is that your nickname for the mission?
Yeah, so Blueberry is my call sign, which is kind of like a nickname, but has to be given to me. And so I got mine the second time I went to space camp, so I was around 8 years old, and I was a pretty short 8-year-old. And I wanted one of these blue flight suits, the one that I'm wearing now.
They look great on you, right?
Thank you. And I actually didn't fit in any of the ones that they had. So my dad, realized that I really wanted one. So he found almost like a knockoff brand one, and it was just a really dark shade of blue, just not the right color. So when I was wearing it, I was wearing it all proudly. Everyone told me I looked like a blueberry in it. And so throughout the day, they'd be like, Blueberry, can you go get some napkins or whatever it might be? And I ended up sticking. So now I'm Blueberry.
Okay. Funny. Okay, now we know why it's Blueberry. Alyssa, thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing it with us. I have a little present for you. You're too young to know what this is. It's a tribble. Take it with you to the mission on Mars. I hope to see your name on the crew list for the first mission to Mars in 2033. We'll remember this keynote here.
We'll scare the next set of astronauts
And don't feed them water. Be careful. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here. Alyssa.
Thank you.